Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how to lose weight specifically through intermittent fasting. Please thumbs up this video and subscribe down below to my channel if you haven't already done so that you can see my future videos and we can keep in touch. Now, this is my experience specifically. Other people's experience could be something different, but this is my own, and what works for me might not work for other people. I don't know, but this is my experience. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician. Research intermittent fasting before you start, and even reach out to your physician for advice, because you could have, I wouldn't recommend intermittent fasting for people that are diabetic, for example. So just make sure that you talk to your doctor. I'm not a doctor, so on with the video. Now it's that time of year again where it's almost the new year and you're wondering back on your New Year's resolutions for 2019 and wondering, didn't really get that. But you know what? If you wanted to lose weight, or if you wanted to tone up, or if you wanted to just feel healthier, you've come to the right video. This video is about how to lose fat, not muscle, maintain your muscle mass and tone, but while losing fat specifically. And intermittent fasting is the way to go. So I've been doing intermittent fasting now for about a year, so I think I've really gotten the hang of it. In the beginning I was just trying it out, I wasn't sure, and then I was like really surprised at the fast weight loss that I had. Mind you, sometimes it is like water weight or food that's in your system that just needs to be cleansed out, but after a while, you can see the results. So after 1 year of intermittent fasting, I lost 25 pounds. And you know what? That's not even accurate, because it was the first 6 months that I did intermittent fasting that I lost the 25 pounds. Now I'm just maintaining it because I'm happy with the way that my body looks. I'm comfortable now, my self-esteem has grown, my confidence, I feel better about my body, and I feel less bloated, if you will. So I feel great, and I want to share to the world the beauty of intermittent fasting. So I'm going to go over, what is intermittent fasting, what are some of the benefits that I have experienced, and what can you have during intermittent fasting, like drinks, food, anything, and what types there are of intermittent fasting. Now I've tried other fad diets like keto diet, vegan diet, gluten-free diet, all of the shenanigans. There are so many out there, it's endless. And you're probably watching this video saying, give me the answer, I want just one simple, easy way of how to do this. And intermittent fasting is the simplest, easiest way, but you do need self-discipline, but it's easier than other diets. Now, what is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting is the absence of food for a prescribed amount of time. Okay, so for a prescribed time, in the beginning I started out with 12 hours of allowing myself to eat, 12 hours fasting period, which is great for beginners. It's good to get your foot in the door and try it out. So 12-12 is pretty easy. So for 24 hours a day, 12 hours you're eating, 12 hours you're fasting. But I have gotten to the point now where I'm comfortable fasting for 16 hours of the day and only eating during the 8-hour time period. Now, mind you, intermittent fasting isn't necessarily a calorie deficit diet. It could be if you want it to be, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. So during my 8 hours of when I eat, I can eat whatever I want. I can, have breakfast, lunch, dinner, but it's more in that cramped 8-hour time frame. Whereas if you were just going about your day with no intermittent fasting, you'd eat at 8 a.m., you'd eat at noon for lunch, and then like 6 p.m. dinner. It's the same amount of food, but it's just grouped into a different time frame. That is the basis of intermittent fasting. It's when you eat, not what you eat. So the real benefit that I love about this is that I can still eat the foods that are not so healthy for you, but every once in a while you gotta live a little, right? So if it's like, you know, a sushi night out, or if it's, you know, going out for dinner or steaks, or, you know, I try and be vegan, but, you know, there are those moments that I like a steak. Or I just want to go to Dollarama or Walmart and buy a whole load of candy, which is my weakness, by the way. So through intermittent fasting, if I, you know, binge eat a bag of candy, it's not going to break the bank, or it's not going to break my body, right? It's still okay. You know, the next day I'm not going to gain 5 pounds because of it. But everything in moderation is very important for you to remember. So if you're not doing intermittent fasting and you're eating all throughout the day, this takes such a toll on your digestive system, your pancreas, your whole system, and your gut is the most important part of your entire body. It determines your health, so you need to take the best care of it as you can. Another thing through intermittent fasting is it activates the human growth hormone. Ooh, sounds so scientific. I'm just gonna go through like the basic science stuff that I know, but you can research a ton more information and studies on this that will give you a whole bunch of information, but this is just what I found very interesting. So the human growth hormone, the human growth hormone actually makes it so that you're losing fat instead of muscle. So with me, you know, I work out and I'm able to maintain my lean muscle mass. That's why I have the abs. That's why I have on my arms, I have like the biceps and the triceps. I mean, I'm not going to do a whole physique overview, whatever, but the human growth hormone is what makes you stay lean and lose fat and not muscle. And the human growth hormone is activated during fasting. During fasting, it also lowers insulin levels, which makes your mind much more clear. You're able to think, you're able to be more creative, you're able to make more sense. You have mental clarity. It lowers blood pressure, it lowers cholesterol, it lowers insulin levels, it reduces the risk of cancer and Alzheimer's disease. And through all of this, it prevents aging as well. But probably my number one most interesting benefit to IMF is, drumroll, is cell autophagy. I know, big word. Ooh, what is that? You sound like a scientist. What are you saying? I don't know. Cell autophagy is basically your body recycling the old, crappy, damaged cells and flushing them out, saying, bye-bye, we don't need you, you're taking up space. Because these bad cells are just sitting around going, hey buddy, how you doing? How you doing, buddy? And they're not working, they're not doing anything for your body. It's just kind of taking up space, taking some nutrients from your body, and it's just like a leech onto your body. Well, through intermittent fasting, cell autophagy is activated and your body starts to recycle these bad cells. Not necessarily cancerous cells, although they could be, but an average person, you know, on a day-to-day basis of intermittent fasting, you just want to cleanse your body of the bad cells, and through intermittent fasting, you can flush it all out. And then you're left with only the really good, wholesome, healthy, helpful cells in your body, and they're all like, yay, we got a good army here, yeah, we're so strong. So you want to make your cells happy as possible. And you know what I like most about intermittent fasting? It's free, it's simple, and it's flexible. So I mean, just give it a try. One of the key benefits to intermittent fasting that I found helpful in weight loss was my loss of appetite. I was actually really surprised. I think the fact that I was 25 pounds over the weight that I should be at, I don't want to say overweight, because even with 25 pounds I wasn't overweight, but I mean it was just excess weight hanging around there, and the main reason why I couldn't get rid of it was because of my appetite. Even after a meal, I would always be hungry, more and more and more. I was literally never satisfied with the amount of food I would eat. And so my stomach was like huge, and I would just try and fill as much as I could, but even then I would be hungry. It was just never ending. I was always hungry. So intermittent fasting actually decreases your insulin levels, your cholesterol, your blood sugar, and your appetite. So you actually aren't craving the foods that make you fat. So I found that I wasn't craving as much, McDonald's and, oh, there's Monkey, here we go, hi. She always has to make an appearance of every single video. So loss of appetite is definitely a huge thing for weight loss. A book that I really want to recommend to you guys that really did me a great benefit was called The Longevity Paradox by Gundry R. Stephen. He talks a lot about the things that I'm talking about in this video, and if you want to do more due diligence, I would highly suggest you pick up this book. Now he talks about intermittent fasting and also calorie restrictive diet. He says that a calorie restrictive diet does basically almost the same as intermittent fasting, but not as good, to be honest, I don't think. But through calorie deficit diet, you will lose weight. It makes logical sense, right? Calories in has to be less than calories out. So you need to burn more calories than you're intaking. So if you're in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. And this is the reason why working out helps, because you're burning those calories that you're intaking. So if you can burn more than you intake, then you will lose weight. He also talks about a study by the University of Southern California. Participants that underwent a 5-day vegan calorie deficit, either once a month or a few times a month, had increased levels of stem cells. So he explains that fasting makes the bad bacteria in your digestive system get torn away from the gut lining itself, so that your body sends stem cell reinforcements. So when your body strips yourself of these bad damaged cells, it's actually sending reinforcements of stem cells. And that's like the holy grail of cells. He also explains that even if you take a calorie deficit for only 5 days of the month, then this will be as much as an entire month of calorie deficit. So you really only have to do it a few times a month to make it super effective. You don't have to do this every single day. Now, along with intermittent fasting, I also exercise. So even if it's just half an hour a day, it's enough. But during the weekdays, Monday to Friday, I like to go a bit more hardcore and then take it easy on the weekends. So just to give you guys an example of like my workout weekly routine, Monday, I do a class called Get Strong, where we do some weighted exercises for strength training, and that's about half an hour, 40 minutes. Tuesday, I do kickbox, so we do some punches, and that's a lot of cardio, and it's really good for the arms and the legs, but more so for the arms for me, because nobody wants that flabby arm when you're waving at people and it's waving in the air. They want like a strong, secure arm. So kickbox is really great for that, and it's also very fun. And then Wednesday, I do 45 minutes of yoga, which is great for the body. It opens your posture, it increases flexibility, and it's really good for your well-being as well. Thursday, I more so do my own kind of thing, where usually in this room, I will do some squats, maybe some lunges, but it'll be like a 15-minute workout. Friday is another Get Strong class, but it's not as intense as Monday's class. And then during the summer, which I found really helpful for weight loss as well, was that I would run every morning for 3 kilometers. That really shed off the fat. So with a mix of intermittent fasting and running, I found that running was very helpful in losing weight. So when I fast for 16 hours and I eat for an 8-hour time period, I'm just going to explain to you how I do that. In the morning, I wake up around, 6:30, depending on what time I went to bed last night. I wake up at 6:30, I get up, I do like a little, maybe 10-minute stretch or workout, and then I drive to work. I start work at 9, and then I usually have a workout class around noon. So I just listen to my body So you have to really learn the difference between, am I actually really hungry, or can I wait, you know, maybe even an hour later? Am I just bored eating? Because I found that that was another thing for me. When I was bored, I would eat. So you have to really learn the difference between those two and self-discipline yourself to make the right decision of when to eat. And also, your first bite will start your 8-hour schedule, so you want to make sure that it's not too late or it's not too early. So I'll either eat a small snack before the workout, depending on how I'm feeling, but usually I go to the workout on an empty stomach just because I like the way it feels better. I feel more, I don't know. I hate it if I'm doing like jumping jacks and stuff and it's like in my stomach, and then like you can hear it digesting and stuff. I don't typically like that, especially in the mornings in the summer when I run. I really enjoy working out on an empty stomach. Okay, so usually when I'm back from my workout is when I will have breakfast. So that's around 1:30 maybe, depending on how I'm feeling. And I typically eat steel cut oats. And then in my oats, I like to put a lot of like almonds and coconut shavings and goji berries and raisins. And one really great tip to make oatmeal taste amazing without sugar is by adding cinnamon. I always add like a ton of cinnamon, and it just gives the whole thing a really good taste. And you don't need that sugary taste, you just kind of need a taste. So cinnamon is perfect for that. And then I'll usually have a snack during the afternoon. And then I'll come home at the end of my day and I will have my dinner. And usually, since I went pretty light during the day, I'll have like a pretty heavy dinner, and then even like a snack after, like something sugary is what I usually like. So like maybe like an apple or some grapes or something just to finish off the night. And I'll stop eating at about 8 p.m. depending on when I started, so that I can make that 8-hour of eating period. And it gets a lot easier as you do it more often, but I do recommend you probably should do a 12-hour fast, 12-hour not eating. So for example, 9 a.m. you can start eating your breakfast, and then by 9 p.m. you can't eat anything after that. I mean, it's not as effective as, of course, the 16 8-hour split, but you still probably will see results. And it'll allow yourself to slowly get into it, and then as the days go on, you can just change it by an hour. And that's also what's so great about it, is because it's flexible. You can attune this program to any way that you like. I feel like my back is like super shredded. Everybody's different, right? Like with genetics, like for me, my stomach is really shredded. Like as you can see here, the lighting isn't the best here, but you get the idea. Like I'm pretty shredded on my midsection here. But then my arms, I always feel like I have an issue. That's why I do kickbox, to try and get rid of the arm fat. But like my arms are pretty toned, but they could be more toned. Do you know what I mean? Like I have some fat at the back here that I want to get rid of, but you can see like the tricep is starting to stick out now, which I never used to have. And then my back is like super toned. So yeah, I guess that's just kind of my little body physique update, so that you can kind of see, you know, these are potentially the results that you can get. You can have muscle tone, you can have weight loss, you can get rid of that midsection stubborn fat area that you have by doing intermittent fasting. So I hope that you guys found this video helpful. I mean, I wish I heard about intermittent fasting way earlier so that I didn't have to gain those 25 pounds. But if you're looking to lose weight for this new year, check out intermittent fasting and let me know if you have tried it, or if you're gonna try it, thinking about trying it. Let me know in the comments below what your journey has been. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Bye!